5 terrifying 80s abductions that changed America forever. Before we start, I would like you to hit that red subscribe button so that you never miss out on any of our videos. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to Court Climate. 5. Jacqueline Dowalibi. Jacqueline Dowalibi disappeared from the safety of her bedroom one night in September 1988. The 7-year-old girl had gone to bed that night like millions of other children around the country. Her home was in a safe neighborhood in the city of Midlothian, Illinois, and she never expected to be harmed, especially not while in bed. But at some point in the night, she was abducted by a stranger. In the morning, her mother, Cynthia, called the police immediately upon finding the girl gone from her room. Cops rushed to the home and began to look around. Quickly, they found a broken window. They also learned from Jacqueline's adoptive father, David, that the family's back door was open when he woke up earlier that morning. Midlothian residents put together search parties in the hopes of finding the little girl. 4. John Patrick Kerrigan. Not all 1980s abductions were of young children. In fact, one of the most notable and mysterious kidnappings of the decade involved a Catholic priest. Father John Patrick Kerrigan was working for the church in Montana when he disappeared from the small town of Ronan on July 20, 1984. Days later, police found his bloody clothes and his wallet full of cash along with a mangled coat hanger. After another week, they came across his car. The interior was covered in blood. Cops knew Kerrigan had met an awful fate, but they hadn't been able to find his body, and there wasn't much else to go on. Then, detectives from Santa Fe, New Mexico, called. 2 years earlier, a Catholic priest there named Father Reynaldo Rivera had gone missing. His vehicle was also found abandoned, and police found a mangled coat hanger with that car, too. 3. Tara Calico. Tara Calico was 19 years old with the prime of her life ahead when she went missing from her neighborhood in Valencia County, New Mexico. The teenager was an avid cyclist for years who loved to bike along routes to school, work, and fun times with friends. For several years, her mother was in the habit of biking with Tara up and down the rural roads near their home. But one day in early 1988, her mother decided to stop biking so often after an unsettling encounter with a road-raging motorist. Tara continued biking alone, though. And on September 20, 1988, it was possibly the last thing she ever did of her own free will. That day, Tara didn't come home after a long bike ride. Her family was terrified at her sudden disappearance and called the police to check on her. They also set out on a massive search for the girl, but she never turned up. They couldn't find any sign of her, not even her bike was found anywhere along the route she typically traversed. Alarmed, her parents handed the investigation over to the police. But authorities in Valencia County didn't have much more to go on themselves. Soon, the case grew cold. 2. Lorene Ron. Lorene Ron had just turned 14 years old in April of 1980 when she disappeared. The teenager's mom went out one night in late April, just a couple weeks after Lorene's birthday. Trusting her daughter to be fine on her own without babysitting help, the mother allowed Lorene to invite 2 friends over, one male and one female, to hang out for a few hours while she was gone. The night was mostly uneventful for the 3 teenagers, who busied themselves watching television and relaxing together. Late that evening, the 3 heard voices in the hallway outside Lorene's family apartment in the city of Manchester, New Hampshire. They assumed Lorene's mom was on her way home, so the young male guest left for the night. Lorene and her friend then went to bed, with the friend in Lorene's room and the 14-year-old girl sleeping on the couch for the evening. When Lorene's mom returned home from her evening out, she walked through the building's hallways to find every single light bulb in the common areas unscrewed. 1. And Gottlieb. And Gottlieb was a 12-year-old Soviet immigrant who disappeared from a mall in Louisville, Kentucky, on June 1, 1983. The girl had been visiting Bashford Manor Mall with friends that day when she went missing. Her family lived just across the street from the mall, and she rode her bike over to hang out for only a few hours. But along the way, something terrible happened to the little girl. The police followed thousands of leads, but all of them proved to be dead ends. They focused on a convicted sex offender who they knew was at the mall when Gottlieb went missing and another suspected serial sex offender in the area. No evidence was tied to either man, though, and police never had enough to charge them. This brings us to the end of our video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit like if you did, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss any of our videos in the future. Also, watch the 2 videos that are on your screen, because I'm sure you'll love them.